A customer accused me of kidnapping my son because he is white and tried to run away with him. She went pale when I got the police involved and filed charges. I'm a mixed ethnicity individual. I've been confused for many races over the course of my 29 years on this planet, but I'm literally Caucasian and African American. Usually it can be figured out, but the difference with me is my father is the Caucasian, so therefore my hair is straight. I'm originally from Texas and am usually confused for being Mexican. Also, I am married to a Caucasian woman who had a child before we were married. His father is not in his life as much, and I took the responsibility because I love this woman and I love this little boy as if he were my own. He's 4 now and I've been in his life since he was 1. Anyways, on to the story. My wife needed a few things from the grocery store and she needed to run a few more errands, and usually she just goes and knocks things out herself because I'm sleep. I work nights, but this particular day I happened to be awake and I offered to go for her. She works hard and does a lot, so I definitely felt it was necessary to do something for her so she could just relax for the day. I took my son with me so she could rest up and just take it easy, and it gave me time to spend with my son for some bonding. We completed all of the errands, which went smoothly, and then headed to the grocery store to finish up our day. My son, being a typical 4-year-old, was full of energy, running ahead of me, laughing and speaking to everyone he comes across, which I generally don't mind as long as he doesn't hit anyone and stays within eye view. As I'm making my way down and I'm looking for canned corn, my son jogs to the end of it when an older lady is entering at the other end. My son, being the sweet social butterfly he is, approached and exclaims an excited "Hi, me 4 and me Ryan." Bless his little heart. The lady looked down and said, "Well, hello there. You shouldn't be running around unattended. Let's go find your parents." I didn't think anything of her statement because I assumed she just hadn't seen me. "Ryan, come back here, bud, please." He excitedly runs back toward me and starts turning in circles because he's 4 lol. I'm still searching the shelves as the lady walks past me and stops behind me. Again, I think nothing of it because it's a grocery store and you have to share the aisles. I turn my basket around and start to walk toward the front cash registers when this lady literally blocks my path. I say excuse me and try to walk around her, and she moves her cart in front of me again. I honestly thought she was just getting confused and said excuse me once again and tried one more time to go around, and she just blocks my path. I was trying to get out of the way with my son when an agitated lady blocked us, accusing me of not being his father. "Oh, I don't think so. You're not going anywhere with that child," she exclaimed. When I confirmed he was my son, she argued, "That's not your child. He's white, and you're Mexican. You probably didn't even know his name until he said it to me." Frustrated, I replied, "Sure, whatever lady, can you just move? My wife is at home and anxiously awaiting us." She persisted, "Stop your lies. You're not taking him anywhere, you pervert." My son clung to my leg, frightened by the confrontation. I tried to calm the situation, saying, "As you can see, he's standing close to me because he trusts me, and you're scaring him, so how about you buzz off?" The lady refused to back down, insisting, "No, he's scared because of you. He just doesn't know how to express it yet." She then addressed my son directly, "Come on now, sweetie. I'm here to rescue you. Come with me." Thankfully, my son was able to communicate to her he wasn't going anywhere with her, but she was having none of it. She literally grabbed my son and began to run. It caught me off guard because I honestly could not fathom what was actually happening. My son starts screaming loudly because he was so scared, and this lady is just like, "Don't worry, sweetie, he won't hurt you, I promise." Suddenly, I snap back into reality and I begin to chase after this crazy winch. While running through the store, I yell for people to stop her and that she's kidnapping my son, and thankfully a worker stops her before she makes the exit. "Lady, why are you stopping me? This Mexican here is trying to kidnap my grandson." My son literally is bawling his eyes out and extending his arms out calling for me. This lady was relentless and would not let go until my son, even after he slaps her face multiple times. I laughed a little, not gonna lie. At this point, a manager shows up and asks what's going on. The lady spoke before me. "Lady, this," pointing at me, "pervert is trying to kidnap my grandson and I was just trying to escape." Me? "That's my son, you freaking psycho. Now let him go." The manager didn't know what to believe. I don't blame him, he was caught in a weird situation. So I pulled out my phone and showed him pictures of me and my son that dated a year or so back as proof. This lady still would not give up and accused me of faking them. Like, how would you do that exactly? I'll never know, but whatever. Sadly, there were 2 other ladies there taking the psycho's side and said I was attempting to kidnap my own son because there was no way we were family because of our different skin tones. One even called the police, which I was actually happy about because I knew they'd be able to review the security cameras. Even still, I called my wife to see if she could come to the store to get this situation cleared up quicker. As soon as I told her what was going on, she zoomed to the store. She got there about the same time as the police. The crazy ladies were giving their statement to the cops when my wife walked in. As soon as she walked in, my son goes, "Mama, help." My wife is a true mama bear and she immediately flew into a rage when she saw this lady holding my son. "Let him go now," she demanded. The lady, claiming to protect our son from a pervert, was supported by 2 other women who accused me of trying to kidnap him. The officer, confused, asked the lady if she knew my son, but my wife clarified she had no idea who the lady was and showed a picture of my mother-in-law. The lady admitted she lied about being his grandmother but insisted she was protecting him from me. My wife said, "Who are you talking about again?" She pointed at me. "Oh, you mean my husband?" I presented my ID to the officer and the manager, and my wife did the same. We also each showed pictures of us on our phones to prove we were really a family. The cop nodded in approval and handed us our phones back and jotted down a few notes. The 3 ladies for some reason still kept trying to say this was all fake and my wife was in on the kidnapping and said we needed to be arrested. My wife lost it at this point and let off some colorful words I won't repeat here, but she definitely got her point across. Then the nail in the coffin came for the psycho trio. The office turned to the manager and asks, "Sir, do the cameras work here?" The 3 ladies' faces went pale, like ghostly pale. The officer reviewed the outside camera as I pulled into the parking lot and saw me take my son out of my car, and then as I went up and down the aisles, and most importantly the instance the woman snatched up my son and began to run. Upon his return he asks, "Would you like to press charges?" The lady said, "Yes, I would." Officer told her, Why would I be asking you that question? Shut your mouth and sit down. He turns to me and repeats the question. Me? Absolutely. Lady 1 was charged with attempted kidnapping, false imprisonment, providing a false police report and child endangerment. The other 2 were also charged with providing a false police report as well. To make matters worse for Lady, my son bruises easily and she left some terrible spots on him from where she was grasping him. But he's fine. This added a charge of child abuse to her rap sheet.